Hi, this is Rob from SGNR Photo, and today we're going to dip into the mailbag for a first ever Ask SGNR. If you have any questions you'd like me to answer, you can send it to inbox@sgnr.photo, or you can send it to me on Twitter. I'm found at SGNRPhoto, or through the Facebook fan page with the hashtag AskSGNR. Today's question comes from John, who writes, "You make it a point to introduce the people in your videos as models, but then you never refer to them as models when you're talking about your photos. If you're taking photos of models, then why do you keep referring to them as subjects in your videos?" Well, that's a great question, John, and the answer has to do with the intent of the photo. The subject of a photo to me is what or who is this photo of? What is the focal point of this image? If a person who is a model and who does modeling is the actual focal point of the image because the image is all about them, I will refer to them as the subject of the photo. That's just what I do. If the photo's of a specific object and there is a person in the photo who is enhancing or drawing attention to that object or specific item, then I would say that the person would be doing modeling and the object itself will be the subject. They are modeling for the item that's the subject of the photo. And I'll show you some sample images to show you a little bit more about what I mean. So this is an image of Michaela, who I've shot with a few times. In this image, she's basically right behind a screen. It's actually just a simple sheet that I had up on my backdrop stand. And her silhouette is being projected onto the screen by firing some studio flashes behind her. In this particular image, the silhouette that's created by her pose is the subject of the photo, and Michaela is the model. More specifically, she's acting as a figure model, where her pose is creating the subject that's in the image. Now, let's go back to this image of Jen that we recently edited in a previous video. In this instance, Jen is the subject of my photo. This image is capturing her pose, but the context of the photo is not about her posing as a figure model. It's more about capturing her expression when posing in studio. She, as a person, is the focal point of the image, and so because of that, I would say that she's the subject of the photo. So we'll go back to this image of Michaela, where she is modeling to create a figure, which creates a silhouette, which becomes the subject. We go back to the photo of Jen, where it's all about her and her expression. She is the subject of the photo. So if we take this photo of Alicia that we did a sample edit on in a previous video, how would you classify her role in the image? Well, personally, I would also say that she is the subject of this particular photo. To me, this photo is about Alicia as a model waiting in studio for the photographer to get on with the business of shooting his or her photographs. It's her as a person waiting to get into the zone of being a model. So in my opinion, she would be the subject. Again, this is just my opinion. Your mileage or interpretation of how Alicia plays a role in this image is completely open to debate, but that's just how I see it. Now, if this particular photo were being used to advertise the studio I was shooting in at the time, if it was being used to advertise Alicia's services as a model, or even my own services as a photographer, all this goes out the window. In my opinion, she would be undoubtedly the model in the image, with the subject of the photo being either the location, such as the studio, or the service being offered either by Alicia or myself for modeling and photography, respectfully. Again, in my view, it's all about context. There's no real right or wrong answer. Sometimes a photographer will always refer to a model as a model. Sometimes will always refer to someone or something as a subject. It's really a personal interpretation. That's just the way that I see it. Well, I hope this clears things up a little bit about how I see things. If you agree or disagree, please leave comments under the video. Or you can send me your feedback. I can be reached by email once more at inbox@sgnr.photo. I can be found on Twitter at sgnrphoto, or you can reach me through the Facebook fan page with the hashtag AskSGNR.